means that there's active filming happening in the area, and I have to jump off the microphone, and you guys are going to see a little thing on your HD monitors that actually says that there's filming going on in the area. And I'll try to make you guys aware of that as soon as we get near those areas, so you know what's going on. It will look like this, and that way you know there's filming happening in the area. Does that sound cool? All right, good. We're going to be on our way in just a second. I'm going to play this song again because I love it. This is from the motion picture Mamma Mia. It's ABBA's Dancing Queen. And speaking of Dancing Queen, how about a nice big round of applause for our driver, Paul? Right here, right? All right, we are on our way. Let's wave goodbye to all those folks still waiting in line. Bye, everybody. Bye. See you later, or maybe not. Once again, my name is Heather. Our driver's name is Paul. We are now going to leave the theme park behind, but before we get too far, we've got a few safety rules we need to go over. Please pay close attention to your monitors. First things first, if you have an emergency, please pull the cord coming down the center of the tram, and I will come back and rescue you.
Sit down.
That's right. Please stay seated at all times while the tram is in motion.
Good, good.
No, that's not good. There's no smoking on the tour. And of course, be prepared for anything today, including loud noises, fire effects, sudden tram movements, and the possibility of getting wet. Woohoo! It's not a possibility, you guys. It is a reality, so prepare for that. Also, our trams are equipped with state-of-the-art automated defibrillator machines for use by train staff and guests located in the front car. Now, we're going to head down to our movie studio here, where dozens of stars come to work every day. But I'll tell you, it doesn't get much bigger than the A-list Academy Award-winning star of Ghost, Sister Act, and The Color Purple. Here's Miss Whoopi Goldberg.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. So how do I look? Okay, fine. You saying too Hollywood? I say no. Because if other studios could have a lion or a mouse or something, what is wrong with an Oscar-winning movie? Besides, I know all about this place because I shot my first movie here with Steven Spielberg. Right here on the Universal backlot, the biggest and busiest fantasy factory in the world. And did you know that more movies and television shows have been shot on this slot than any other place in the world? And today, you're going to get to see where it all happens. But before we get too far into the tour, I got to give you some of the setup for our story, or what we in Hollywood love to call the backstory. Universal got its start in 1912 when visionary Carl Laemmle brought his movie company west and opened Universal Pictures. On March 15, 1915, Mr. Laemmle invited the public to visit his studio, and the Universal Studio Tour was born. You see, Mr. Laemmle believed that movies should make people laugh, or cry, or sit on the edge of their seats. And for the last century, Universal has been doing just that. A century. Lenny, can you believe that? Oh, this is Lenny, my chauffeur, and I'll give you the inside scoop on what's really going on in Hollywood. Are you ready? You are nobody around here unless you have a golf cart. Or tram, which is what you have. It's just as good. But he's on overtime, and I don't want to upset him. So I'll be back to check up on you guys a little later. In the meantime, I'm going to turn things back over to your guide.
All right, everybody, we're now going to enter into what's called the front lot. The front lot houses 35 sound stages. Just like this one off to your left, it's Sound Stage 12. It's the third largest sound stage in the world. We filmed some hit sequels inside there, like Live Free or Die Hard with Bruce Willis, National Treasure, Book of Secrets with Nicolas Cage, and these classic films. Take a look.
Shut up to my little friend!
All right, where are my fans of the show CSI? Awesome. awesome, you guys. Right here on the left, this soundstage is stage 25. It's where they filmed the original CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, starring Lawrence Fishburne and Mark Helgenberger. Stages 22 through 25 are what we call closed sets. That means only immediate cast and crew are allowed access. However, the next time you visit Universal, be sure to check out our VIP experience to find out how you can walk on and explore actual sets used in filming. Coming up on your right is a big part of Universal's history is soundstage number 28. Over 80 years ago, Universal invented the horror film inside there with a movie called Phantom of the Opera. Part of the elaborate Paris Opera House set is still standing inside stage 28. The film starred Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces, in his most famous role. Something smells good, doesn't it? It must be lunchtime. As we come around the corner, take a look off to your left, you'll see soundstage number 27. Stage 27 was home to Mission Control in the hit film Apollo 13, and it was used for several scenes in the movie Land of the Lost, starring Will Ferrell.
What's happening? An earthquake! Greatest earthquake ever known!
From the big screen to the small screen.
Aside from making memorable movies, NBC Universal has a long history of producing hit TV shows, many of which filmed right here on the Universal lot.
Our television history goes back about 70 years with the transmission of the opening day ceremonies of the 1939 New York World's Fair, marking our first broadcast. Since then, we brought you a lot of hit shows like Seinfeld, ER, Friends, The West Wing, Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, and now The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien, 30 Rock, Parks and Recreation, and The Office. If you're a fan like me of the sitcom, half-hour comedy, you might not know it can take about a week to complete a sitcom, from the first rehearsal to the final taping. But movies are a different story. They can take several months and even years to complete. A lot of the people that work on those films and television shows work out of these buildings on your left. These are our production bungalows.
Okay, I'm back. So, did I miss anything? Did you guys see anybody famous? Well, if not, it could be because they're all inside those big sound stages or in these bungalows, which are kind of like cute little houses for writers and producers and directors making their movies or working deals with the studio. Which gives me an idea.
Excuse me! Attention, producers and directors, I have a great pitch for you. Fewer movies with giant monkeys, more movies with me. Fewer movies with a giant monkey, more movies with me.
Therefore,
A very famous director by the name of Alfred Hitchcock worked out of those buildings right there, creating classics like Vertigo, Psycho, Rear Window, and The Birds, just to name a few. He was also known for making cameo appearances in his films. Take a look.
Good evening. My name is Alfred Hitchcock.
All right, everybody, that does it for the front lot. We're now heading into the back lot. Take a look off to your left. You see this construction that's happening right here? Well, this is the part of our lot that burnt down in a fire last summer. Do you remember hearing about that on the news? Well, ever since then, they've been in the process of rebuilding these. This is what we call our metropolitan sets. And when they're completed, they'll be able to be transformed into any major metropolitan city in the world. New York, London, Los Angeles, Chicago. These are what we call facades. That means false fronts. You'll notice only the front and sides of the building are built. There's nothing on the back side of the building. One set that definitely needs a little rebuilding is over here on the right. This is the Old Bridge. The Old Bridge was built back in 1918, if you can believe it, for the silent movie Descent. That Descent never got completed because there were so many structural problems with the bridge. It kept collapsing whenever they would drive over it. But recently they've spruced it up a little bit, and now we can go over it for the tour. Don't worry, though. I'm sure it's perfectly safe. There's nothing to be worried about. I'm sure people have already been over it today. A what?
Delta's 3, okay.
Pyro.
Okay.
Hang on.
On all locations, okay.
Paul, are we supposed to be driving over the
Set
bridge?
is on.
I'm sorry?
Set is on. Pyro is live.
Roger that. Set is.
Whoa.
Let's get the area cleared and all radios and cell phones turned off.
All right, so as you can probably guess, the Old Bridge isn't really that old. It was built in the 1970s. They created it to look like a bridge from the 1800s.